Okay guys, so I am officially finished. I have made my skis, as you can see. Pretty crude, but pretty darn effective. They're very stable, they're rock solid, and as you will soon see, when I put this on, I have tons and tons of prop clearance now. I was a little worried about prop clearance. Now look at the angle I can pick the tail up to and not even worry about the prop clearance anymore. That's perfect. Also, I'm seeing it has a great weight balance. I have replaced the tail, as I was saying I was going to. This will be the final design. As you can see, it kind of mirrors the mane, and I like that. It gives it more surface area. It's stronger. It's better in every way. And the ski system is the same thing. It's stronger, and it gives me a more springy action here, as you can see that. It's actually a really nice spring. And then these ones have the same kind of deal going on, where they actually have a really nice springing effect. If you can look underneath and see that, they really spread their wings nicely when they touch down, which means it tends to touch down and angle forward and just land. This is actually going to be a really sick setup, guys. I can't wait to see it flying. It's making me want to put floats on it because I think it'll fly really nice with them, on top of looking good with them. Now, this can be cleaned up. It's just a bit of dirt from my hands being dirty when I made it, but as I've said, that is done. This is also done, where I have trimmed these out so that I don't have the rubbing going on anymore. And now that all that's finished, all that's left is to cut these, make my little hinges, and then attach everything. And I don't want to do that until I actually have the RC gear installed. As you can see, the bracing is nice. It's turned out to be rock solid in testing. And if you're wondering why these little heels are on these, it's because if it's operating in snow, this is like a step, and that's actually a good thing. In addition, you can see that it kind of leans back, so when it's landing, the backs of those may actually touch, and that's not a bad thing. It'll just help to push the whole thing forward. And as you can see, even when I raise the tail quite significantly, it really doesn't affect the landing gear much, and you have to push it down pretty hard to really have any serious effect on it. And that being said, they're braced nicely so that there's not a need for huge strength on the part of the landing gear, which is good. The trick is you don't want to mess with them too much or they get weak. I'm not really going to be landing it with them on very often. If I do, it'll be more of an emergency landing. Otherwise, I'll just bring it up to myself, L horizontal like, L vertical, and just kidding, or horizontal, and fly it up to myself nice and slow and grab it out of the air. I actually intend on hovering it off the prop as I launch it and as I retrieve it. So I really won't need the landing gear, but it does look really cool. It does fly really well on it, help it to CG really well, puts all the weight where it's needed, and does a really good job of keeping the prop off the ground should I have to land it. Those are all things you need to think about when you're engineering a package. This is the remnants of the Viper drone that actually donated the motor and reduction system, as you can see. So that being said, it is finished, and I'll give you a closer look at that tail and a final look at the skis, so you can see how they look and how they're angled. Really easy to do too, guys, just so easy. And for the reward you get, it's really worth it, because now I have something that really looks scale. And even when it's flying through the air, guys, it'll look nice in scale. It's got these landing gear on it that are pretty serious, and it's reasonably strong. Of course, the less you mess with it, the stronger it'll be and the more flights you'll get out of it. On that note, I really won't be touching this again until the electronics come. Now, I am going to say this right out. I won't say which hobby shop, but I've had an offer from a hobby shop locally to sponsor me to do this sort of stuff and to do other things to show up on their behalf, along with some other folks, at various fly-in sessions where we will be flying indoor micro aircraft like this. And to be able to show up with my own design is something that I said I would do. And I wasn't kidding. I wanted them to see that I'm serious and that this is actually going to be a great little design. And a lot of people could benefit from a design like this because there's lots of people out there who'd like to have a sick little micro indoor flyer. And the kits that are available don't fly anywhere near as well as this one, guys. They don't glide as well as this. Even with the weight of the motor on the front, it glides really well, which means it'll dead stick landing like crazy. Anyway, that's it for this video. It is the last one. I just wanted to show you guys that the last of these details I talked about were finished, and the skis. I do not procrastinate when it comes to a build. In fact, I was up all night tonight, guys. This build basically got done over a 12-hour period complete. From it being a mono wing to me building a new wing, testing the new wing, adding the VGs, doing the whole setup. It's been about 12 hours of me just working nonstop pretty much, smoking a couple of doobies and continuing on. So, I mean, you know, it's been a sweet build series. And I'm going to be sad when this one's over. In fact, it flies so nice. It immediately makes me want to start on a second one that's bigger. And as I said in one of the other videos, I will be making a bigger biplane. There are parts of it right there. It's been sitting on them the whole time. So for those of you who are observant, you will see that there is another aircraft in the works. This will actually be the body for it. As I showed in another video, you can see it's cut already to accept various surfaces and a motor. And we're going to cover that in future videos. But for now, guys, this one is done. I have tons of prop clearance with this setup. As you can see here, there is a lot of prop clearance. More than enough to accommodate what I needed in terms of the design I had in mind and what I was looking for, and all that stuff has just come together really, really well in a design that's really, really sweet. You can see here I have it on a little uphill with the tail jacked up, and it's still not in danger of a prop strike, guys. So that's it for this video. It is almost finished, and you will see in coming videos where I fine-tune the power system for the optimal performance, which in my case is slow flight. I don't want a fast airplane. I want a nice, slow-flying, sweet-flying aircraft that will perform any maneuver my itty-bitty brain can think up. Keith out.